Hello, my name is Christopher Kidwell, and my topic today is smart grids. Before we begin, I would just like to state that I do work for Duke Energy, and as I was performing research for this project, I noticed that I was getting similar information as well as some political fluff. So instead of depending upon those resources, I asked people within the smart grid department at Duke to kind of give me their perspective on smart grid and some real applications of smart grid. So that's actually the majority of this presentation that I'm about to show you. So what is smart grid? Smart grid is computer-based automation of the electrical grid. Previously, the grid had used electromechanical devices, which those devices are simply devices that use the physical properties of electricity to help automate the system. So even though automation has been on the system for a while, computer-based automation has not, and this is what smart grid brings. Smart grid uses what's called a smart device, and inside of the smart device you have several microprocessors that gather information and send that information to the central computers about the grid and allow you to automate based off those readings. So what are the advantages of using smart grid? The first advantage is it offers more control. And it offers more control from both the utility perspective and the consumer perspective. From the utility perspective, it allows the utility to turn electricity on and off at a certain house or factory or whoever else is using the electricity. Before, you'd have to send a technician out to do that work. Now you can simply click a button on a computer and it will do the work for you. Customers get more control in that they can operate certain devices, like let's say for example a dishwasher, at nighttime if they prefer, instead of using it during the day when they're home needing to take a shower. It also allows you to turn certain sockets inside of your house off, so that way you can save on electricity that may be used by devices that still draw current but aren't physically on. Another advantage is you have faster response time to outages. A smart device can tell you where an issue occurred on a line, the approximate mileage, whereas before you'd have to walk the line. So this response time allows outages to get taken care of more readily. And finally, you have higher reliability on the system. Now, let's say for example, a certain town, let's say Cincinnati, is out of power. So if the whole city is out of power, what smart grid can do is turn back on one section of the line and restore power in that regard. Now there's a lot more to that than just simply flipping a button. However, that's just the gist of what smart grid can do for you. Some of the IT issues that are around smart grid, well, first off, smart grid is a very new technology. It's only about 10 years old. So there are some technical malfunctions with smart grid, as with any IT system that you may implement. Another big concern is security. So the government in the utility industry is very concerned that terrorists will try to take advantage of the grid and basically black out the entire United States. So as we automate our systems and as we have information uploaded to computers and the ability to control assets from your computers, security becomes a major issue within the smart grid initiative. So you have to make sure all your systems are secure. Another issue is the reprogramming of devices. Even if you program based off what the manufacturer tells you to do, sometimes you do need to reprogram to have the device do what it needs to do for you. And finally, another issue is customer billing. If the meter does not send you the correct data, you may overcharge a customer, and customers love being overcharged, let me tell you. Or you may also not charge enough and lose out on the potential revenue for that time period. So now that I've given you a good background of what smart grid is, as well as some facts, I would like to introduce this section called True or False. This is simply a section where I have comments that were made by either neighbors or friends, as well as information that I read in performing research, and I would just like to give kind of my opinion about whether these statements are true or not. So the first one is smart grid is a cleaner and greener option. This could actually not be further from the truth. The only thing in the utility industry that will make you cleaner and greener is what you use to produce the electricity. So for example, if you use coal, coal is not clean or green. However, if you use a renewable energy like wind or solar, you are much more cleaner and greener. Remember, smart grid is only computer-based automation of the electrical system. So it does not in itself make the system cleaner or greener. The next statement is smart grid can save me money. This is actually true. So as stated before, you are able to control certain devices within your house and turn off outlets when you're not using them. So overall, it will save you money on your electrical bill. So now I have some questions for you. Have you heard of smart grid before this presentation? And if so, was it presented to you as part of the Green Initiative? Smart grid costs usually get passed on to customers, so would you be willing to pay a higher electric bill to have a system upgraded to smart grid? Do you agree with my opinions from the true and false section? And what other changes would you like to see in the utility industry? Thank you for listening to the presentation, and good luck with the rest of the course.